Can we start now? I'm ready. Okay, so good morning to your students, and I'm very glad to meet them and share this presentation with them. I think earlier I introduced myself, but because of the network challenges, I will have to introduce myself again. My name is Riffath Yakub Abubakar from Ghana, the President and Executive Director for National Academy of Students Achievement Awards, Ghana. So a bit detail about NASAG is that NASAG run two programs. One, we train students on career guidance, capacity building, employability skills, and business, and then entrepreneurship. Then we also have a whole independent segment for leadership for students in Ghana, and then foreign students as well in Ghana. And then the second program is at the end of every year, we organize award scheme to reward and award students that are doing so well in their chosen field of expertise, because we have some students from the high school level to the university or college level who are into business and entrepreneurship. Some are also creative artists, those into leadership, and then anything that one can do as an enterprise to earn a living and also contribute to the immediate community's development. So we look at this and then award the students that are doing well. So basically that is what NASAG does in Ghana. And I must say it's an honor to be invited to speak to students from India. So I hope we are all ready to share this presentation together. I am to speak on developing skills beyond academic qualification for the contemporary job market. So skills that students have to pay attention to while they are in school, so that by the time they are done with school, they can match up with the requirement that the businesses or the job is requiring from them. So first of all, what every student must understand, it doesn't matter your level, especially starting from the high school, and then most importantly, when you are in the tertiary, because that is the line that when you cross, you then enter the job market. And so a lot is expected from you. One thing I always tell students is that okay. One thing I always tell students is that they should have in mind education goes beyond just the attainment of a certificate. What is most important about education is that the knowledge you have gained and the skill that you have gained, you have to use those ideas, those knowledge, and then those skills to now initiate a solution to solve problems that humanity is facing. That is the end result of education. And then if you are able to initiate any solution, that is where the money that you look to get, it follows you. Everybody goes to school thinking that after school you get a better job to do, or you create your own job to earn money. So we all want money, but money will only follow you when you have something valuable to give back. That is why whoever pays for something expect value for money. And so students must always have it at the back of their mind that in as much as they want to get a good certificate that is having good results, they should think of adding very competitive skills and value to themselves so as to catch up with whatever they are expecting after school. I also share with some of my students, and I think Indian students must also learn from this, that if you could influence society, you must have succeeded or done something otherwise society intended to push on you. You know, we all live in a community whereby the community or the society expect that this is the kind of life you should live. Fine, that is okay. Or society expects, starting from the home, they expect you to become this person in future. But you should know yourself better that this is what you want to do as a person. This is where your strength is. This is where your weakness is. This is where your passion and your talent is. But society don't see that. They always want to shape you in a certain corner. But if you can influence that society, then it means do otherwise what the society is expecting of you. And if you are able to do it successfully, to prove the society wrong, you can now influence society because they now believe in you that what they thought you can't do, you have been able to do it. Now they all go all out to believe and expect you when you are coming out. And again, to reach your destined potential, you have to focus and then identify your purpose in life of what God has ordained for you. And then learn what you need to know, not what you want to know. In life, what we need to know is what is going to guide us to our purposeful destination, not what we want. If you're doing something and you're being told the truth, that is what you need. But if you are being told what will pamper you, then you won't go far if you really want to go far. And so you have to seek advice constructively and not comfortably. You should also understand that if you want to make a meaningful change in this world, starting from your community, then you have to understand the existing changes. Because whatever changes you want to bring in the community, there is an existing changes. So for people to now endorse and patronize the change you're bringing, you should learn that, okay, what new thing am I implementing or bringing on board so that society is coming out to accept and patronize my product or my idea. So every student must have this. If you have this mindset, it is going to guide you in whatever enterprises or whatever activities you find yourself in. You don't enter anywhere with the expectation that you have no focus, you have no expectation. By the time you leave, you should have focus or expectation. You would get lost. Before you even know how to add a skill or how to develop a skill as a student, these are the questions you should ask yourself. The first question is, how do I become relevant? You can't take that away. People go to people that are relevant, that are important. They know that this person, if I go to, I'm going to get something valuable. If you go out there and you are empty, nobody comes to you. The second question you should ask yourself is that, what can I also do that is your responsibility to contribute to your community or nation's development? In some parts of the world, the educational mindset or orientation is that students should learn, pass their exams, get good results, and then get better job to do. Now, if the school continue to approach the students in this mindset, the students become entitled when they are done with school and then expect people to now provide them with job, forgetting that the knowledge they gain in school, they can also leverage it to create their own job, notwithstanding adding more competitive knowledge as well to secure or land a proper job. It is always not the case that you have to get out of school for somebody to get you the job. So ask yourself, what can you do to contribute to your community or nation's development? Now, this question will strike you that you have a responsibility to play so that the solution we all want to then swim in the happiness that we all expect to have at our doorstep, then society can have it. And then the third question you also ask yourself is that, how do I, or how can I introduce changes that my community needs to facilitate or accelerate development? If you now want to become relevant, and then you identify the responsibility you can also contribute to your community, there is a way out. You don't just wake up and then do something. You have to find what you need to do before you start. And so how do you introduce those changes? You don't just wake up and introduce something. You must first of all find out, what do the people want? What does my people want? How do they want it? In business, we call it feasibility test, or to go and test the market, what the market wants. And so you know how to package yourself, and then provide what you're bringing out to the people. And then the fourth question you should ask yourself is that, where can I explore to seek new ideas, knowledge that are feasible for the changes that I want to implement? Knowledge is almost everywhere now, thanks to the internet, YouTube, and the like. A lot of knowledge has become common, which you don't necessarily have to be in the classroom before you get it. And I always say that the rate at which the world is running and revolving, the academia is unable to catch up. So there's a lot more you can have outside the school. And so you must also, after identifying all these three steps, you then have to explore to seek new ideas or have new ideas, and then apply it accordingly. And then the last question you should ask yourself is that, what are the secrets of influential or successful people? Every influential personality you see in your community, you see in your country, they didn't wake up to become who they are. There were some principles that they followed, they practiced, and today they are where they are. And even if some also have the argument that when an influential person or rich person gives birth, automatically the child also becomes successful. But I have otherwise idea, because greatness is made, greatness is not born. Take me, for instance, if I'm a rich person and I give birth, if the child is not able to continue what I have left behind, then it means everything is going to vanish one day. So it means I have done my bit, but the child was not able to continue it, even though he or she was born into greatness. But the fact that he or she could not continue that greatness, it will not last. So greatness is always made, not born. All right. So ask yourself, what are the secrets of influential and successful people? Now let's go to the answers of these questions. So the first question says, how do I become relevant? First, you have to have a vision. And then when you have your vision, a vision is something you set before you, that this is how far you want to reach. And every way you put before you, there are hindrances, there are challenges. All right. So all you need is that you stay focused so that you can journey through your vision. If you don't have a vision, you walk like, sorry to say, a blind worm or a blind animal. You just walk thinking that the environment is going to guide you. So when you hit an object, then you change your direction. When you hit another object, then you change your direction. That is how you become. You don't have any focus, you don't have any direction. So to become relevant, you must first of all have a vision. There is a vision that you want to follow. And then whatever you do, ensure that you're doing it with a purpose in line with your vision. If you're a student engineer, a student politician, a student reading business, a student reading accounting or marketing, this is the vision you have set before you. So whatever you do, ensure that there's a bit and pieces of the program you're reading so that you don't fall out of your vision. The second thing you should also realize is that take responsibilities of your actions. Believe in yourself. However, be confident and be teachable. When you set the vision for yourself, take responsibilities of your action. If you become somebody who always blame others for your failure, you have nowhere to go. You have nowhere to go. You always remain in your small circle and continue to blame people, and others will pass you. All right. So when you learn to take responsibilities, it will give you the emotional intelligence, the foresight intelligence to know that whatever you did led to where you are today. Thereby, if it's a good, you continue. If it's bad, you sit back and then re-strategize, find out what was the cause, and then you focus so much on the solution. Away from that, you have to spend time with people that challenges you to be better. Every student who wants to become relevant should have people that challenges them to be better. Stop being around people who will not appreciate you, who will not challenge you to do something good. All the time, all they do is mediocrity and the likes. You won't reach far. Start walking out of your comfort zone. You should also see mistakes as a tool for progress and failure as a tool for perfection. If you don't start anything, if you don't do anything, you're not going to do a mistake. And if you don't do anything, maybe you won't fail. And if you don't fail and get out of the failure to continue again, you don't perfect. And so when you have set your vision, ensure that mistakes are always in your way. You can't do away with that. But remember, they are a tool for your progress. Because in future, when similar instances is about to happen, you then make a reference to what you have encountered years back or sometimes back. Then quickly you can provide halfway solution, and then you strategize again to then add up to the 100% solution you want. Always keep in mind that everything you do must add value to you. Everything you do must add value to you. That is how you become competitive. You become attractive in the market, in whatever field you find yourself. When you work with value, you talk with value, you do things with value, everybody is ready to have you. We are about 8 billion population in the world. So you cannot continue to cry to people your problem. The world doesn't need you crying. They need you to provide solution. That is why the world will come to you. So if the world is celebrating some few people, then it means they have gone through the steps. So whatever you do, ensure you have value or you're adding value to yourself. The next point to do so that you become relevant is that keep yourself busy with activities that leads you to achieve your goals. Always keep yourself busy. There will be a time some colleagues or family members or friends will say you are busy for nothing. You will see the results in future if you continue to keep yourself busy in any activity that leads you to your goal. For the start, you might not see the importance of it, but going forward, you will begin to realize the importance of being busy all the time under your vision or in your vision. Again, you have to be intentional and sensitive when choosing your network or friends. If you want to be relevant, you have to dine and work with relevant people. All right. You don't work with mediocre people and expect to be a champion. Rather, you work with champions. And then even if you've not won yet, you've not become a champion yet, because you work and dine with champions, people will then see you as automatically champions. So have that in mind and always practice it. The last bit is that keep records of your success, celebrate yourself, update your CV, and resume with your success stories. Any activity you have, you engage yourself in. If it's something that have added value to yourself and added value to others, you have to update that in your CV and in your profile. Because when people pick your CV and people pick your profile to read and see what you have done, what you've engaged in, they would approach you per what they have perceived about you in your CV or in your profile. All right. Now, let's move to the second question. I believe, how do I become relevant? We have mentioned a few points that we have to pay or give it more attention so that it would really help us in the journey of our future. The second question which also says, what can I also do that is my responsibility to contribute to my community or nation's development? You have a task. One, you have to participate or engage in legitimate community activities. This is what you can do to contribute to your community development. And once you start to do that, you are adding skill to yourself, the skill that you're going to base on to secure or land your dream jobs. So I'm taking it again, you have to participate or engage in legitimate community activities. So it could be, if you're a student and you're on campus, it could be student politics, debate, or entertainment, group work meetings. Engage yourself in. But when you engage, you realize that you all have bits and pieces of something good in you, that when those bits and pieces are brought together, it becomes a unified solution to whatever solution you're seeking to introduce. All right. The second thing you should also do is that ask and accept responsibilities. Wherever you find yourself, ask and accept responsibilities. So when you are asking and accepting responsibilities, example is that you take leading or supervisory roles. You can be a useful team player. Even if you cannot lead or you cannot supervise, you can be a very good team player, where if a certain part of the body is falling short, then you can provide solution or you can fill that place. You can also contribute to ideas. No man on earth has all the solution for humanity. So when you accept responsibilities and you also ask to take some responsibility, then you can add or contribute to ideas and suggestions or your views. You have to also do voluntary internship or attachment. If you are in school, these days it's quite common that students take up voluntary internship or industrial attachment, which is very, very good. One, it connects you to that job enclave or that business enclave that you are doing the voluntary internship or industrial attachment. So now you have a new set of network that if you want to do future internship or program, when you come to them, because they have had an experience with you, it's easy that you can be accepted. Two, it gives you a new skill. Now, before you came or you started an internship, you were just a student. You have no idea how to use office gadgets or tools. You have no idea how to use probably presentation. It could be PowerPoint and the like. But when you start to do the industrial attachment or internship, you are being taught some of these things. All right. And you should note that do not limit yourself. Do not limit yourself to your field of study. Explore other options, that is professions, because some professions or some courses are open markets. If you take some courses or programs like political science, business courses, and the like, these are open markets. You have engineers that are politicians, all right? You have lawyers that are politicians, and you have engineers that are doing business. And so you have to sit back and realize that the field that I am in, or the course that I am reading, is it an open market whereby other people from other course programs can just jump into my field and start taking my opportunity? We have medical doctors who are into journalism. We have politicians who are into journalism. We have graphic designers and web developers who are into so many different fields. So ask yourself that, what can I do so that in as much as my area of study is an open market, I can still become relevant and contribute to the community development? So do not limit yourself to your field of study alone. Explore other areas. After the next answer, that is the fourth point, I would wait and then take some questions if Any of you have a question to ask? Okay. So the next question is that how do I or can I introduce changes that my community needs to facilitate or accelerate development? How do you do? Now, if you follow the earlier steps that we have discussed, there is the how and the why before you can win or you can succeed in whatever you've put ahead of you. One is that identify your talent or your passion. Now, the passion or talent is something you love to do. All right. However, you need to find a way to get paid for what you love to do. You cannot run charitable business all the time and think of surviving. That is why I mentioned earlier, we are all going to school because of money, but the money will chase you because of the value you give back. All right. So in as much as you love to do what you have passion in, or you love to do your talent given you by God, you must find a way to get paid for it. That's what we call monetization of passion or talent. All right. So identify your talent and passion and monetize it accordingly. You should also understand that your talent or your passion is a tool for solution. What you need as a person to be happy, or what you need as a person to solve a certain challenge or problem you are facing, that problem is somebody's passion or talent or hobby. So when the person is doing that, they end up solving your challenge or problem. But when they are solving it, you pay for it. And so that is why you should understand that the passion you have in you, the talent you have in you, is a tool for solution. What you have to do is that know how to develop it in a very marketable way, in a very solution-oriented way, so that you can get paid for it accordingly. And also see problems as an opportunity and find solutions for it. This brings us to entrepreneurship. All right. The basic understanding of entrepreneurship is providing solution. And so every problem you see is an opportunity. Whereby, let's take phone as an example. Years ago, I think starting from the 1960s, before the 1960s, we didn't have mobile phones. All right. So if you want to have a quick conversation with somebody who is very far from you, it's either letter writing or you rather have to take a car, motorbike, or something else before you can reach that person at the other end to now present your whatever you want to present. So there was a need for us to get mobile phone so that it can help us to reach out to people within a short possible time, whereby we don't have to go through those difficult times again. So this was a challenge that the world or humanity was facing. All right. And the person that brought phone, you could, if we are to read about that person, we may end up seeing that the person loved to deal with gadgets, tools, scientific and engineering knowledge. And so when the person have this passion and talent, the person put together this idea and brought out mobile phone, where you and I are using mobile phone, either for luxury, for fun, for business, whatever. The mobile phone has come to solve our problem. Internet, the same thing. All right. So ensure that problems are opportunity. So leverage your talent and passion to solve those challenges, and then you become more relevant, and then you are also going to get whatever money you look forward to get. Secondly, this is the fourth point. You have to apply your ideas or knowledge. You have to apply it. Now, when you have been able to identify your talent and passion, don't keep it to yourself. Apply it. The more you apply, the more you become more experienced and intelligent in it. That's why there's a saying that the one who teaches more becomes more experienced. All right. So apply your ideas and knowledge. When you apply, people will see how best you are or how good you are in that particular field. And it will make you more competitive and marketable. Also, you have to explore or ask questions. It could be existing or relative solutions. All right. So if it's an existing or relative solution, you now use it and then do your own research or add your own understanding to it, and then you get a solution that wholly came out of you. It wasn't like you plagiarized or you picked it from somewhere, from someone, and then reintroduced it. All right. So you need to explore. When you explore, you see existing knowledge, existing solutions, and then you add yours to it. That makes you more experienced person or a unique person. So your product becomes different from the existing products. You should also develop the attitude of consistency, persistency, and then ask reviews and feedback. To become experienced, to become competitive, marketable, for people to come to you and patronize whatever you're bringing on board, you have to develop the attitude of consistency. Always do it. If you do and fail, get up and do it again. Persist. All right. If there's any question, I would hold on here to take one or two questions, and then I'll continue because our session will get to 8 ending stage. I have just 2 slides to finish it up. Okay. Thank you. So I've been tipped to continue. All right. So the next question . Okay. So the next question is, what are the secrets of influential and successful people? 1, influential and successful people, they work for purpose. They work for purpose. You won't get them anytime or for any reason, if not purpose. All right. 2, they believe in themselves. They are very confident. If you want to be influential, don't go by what society always puts on you. I've mentioned this earlier. You have to believe in yourself, understand your divine purpose, and then chase it. In the course of chasing it, you do it and you do it for good. And be confident. If you are not confident, people will just intrude, mislead you, or misguide you. 3, they see mistake as a tool for success. I've mentioned this in the previous slide. 4, they add value to themselves and people. That is what influential people do. Take yourself as an example. Who do you go to when you need help? You go to somebody you respect, you revere so much, be it in your community, your classroom, your school. So how come the person earned your trust and your respect? It means the person did something influential. And today you go to the person for whatever reason that is taking you to the person. And it has to be something good. All right. So they add value to themselves and people. They also keep themselves busy with things that lead them to achieve their goals. It has repeated here again, because what I want you to understand is that some aspect of activities are very, very key. They are very, very important in our life. And so it can appear 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, as many as it would appear. It means it's very, very important, so you should pay attention to it. They also know every negative experience happened for a reason. They do not give up. That's what influential people do. I mentioned that if you always blame people, you won't go anywhere. Start to take responsibilities of your action. All right. And so these influential people or successful people, they are always aware that every experience they encounter happened for a reason. If it's good, it happened for a reason. If it's bad, it happened for a reason. So they don't give up. They also choose their associations or network wisely. Again, if you remember, I said this. They don't just pick anyone as a friend. It does not mean they are selective in when it comes to generally human beings. They understand that we are all equal, but because they want to be influential, they want to work out or dine with people that are influential and successful. All right. So in that regard, they are very selective. And so is what you should also do. It does not mean you don't respect people. Don't look down on any person. All right. But be very cautious in your dealing with people. Know those that can add something to you today. So that those that cannot add anything to your life today, you don't cut them, but you manage them. In future, you might need them to help you with something. All right. So this is a reason you don't cut people off outright or completely. The other point is that they are willing to be, corrected. They are teachable and ready to learn. If you want to be influential, sometimes behave like you don't know anything. So such people, there is this understanding that they listen or they learn for about 90%, speak for about 5%, and the rest 5% is the other stuff. So if you want to be successful, then you have to learn about 90%, pay attention, listen, and just speak about 5%. All right. So that's what they do. And be corrected, be teachable. Don't feel you know everything. If you do that, people will begin to hide from you what you need to know. They'll only give you what you want. And it is not what you want that will take you to where you want to be. It is what you need that will take you to where you want to be. Again, they know and accept their destiny is in their own hands. They don't blame situations or others. Successful people and influential people accept their responsibilities. They know their destiny is in their own hands. They are the architect of their own destiny and future. Whatever they do, they ensure that if it goes well for them. If it goes bad, it goes bad for them. All right. So they ensure much attention, detail is invested in whatever they do so that they can come out in the expectation that they are anticipating. They are not afraid to stand up. They are decisive and focused. They are not people pleasers. They don't do that. Successful people and influential people don't do things to please people. All right. So they are not afraid to work out if they think it is what it must be done, they will work out. If they have to stand up and voice out, they will. And they do that assertively. They don't talk anyhow. They apply maturity in their talking, in their thinking. And so they are always focused. They are not derailed. They don't allow themselves to be influenced, to take alternative ways that are not designed for their future success. So these are some of the lifestyle that the secrets some influential people or successful people do to become who they are. All right. So as student, I believe this short session is so crucial. I always say that you can have just 5 minutes knowledge from outside where you won't have it in your 4, 5, 6-year stay in the school. All right. The school would only prepare you by giving you the foundation. Trust me, without the school, you might not have any knowledge to do anything. So the school is doing its best by giving you the foundation, the understanding. At least you can read and write. It would help you to also analyze. So these are the basic tools that you will need to upgrade yourself so that you can now face the reality of the world. So the school is doing a bit, but it cannot give you everything. Let's take, for instance, sometimes the school uses about 5-year-old, okay, let me be moderate, sometimes 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old curriculum that they take to teach students. But ask yourself, the world doesn't wait for this curriculum before they introduce new ideas. They don't. The industry is always doing what it needs to develop, what it needs to survive. All right. And these are some of the things that the school would have to look out and then bring a new curriculum or review the existing curriculum. So what the world wants is what the school teaches. So if you always limit yourself in the classroom, you come out of the school and you are lagging behind. All right. Because the solution or what the school taught you, thinking that you are bringing out as a solution to the world has passed that level. So you have to catch up. That is why I always entreat my students that get out of the school, attend industrial summits, seminars, and conferences. There's a lot to learn from there. All right. So thank you for this session. I believe we've all had a wonderful time. Myself, I've learned from my own presentation.